There we go. All right. Good morning. Excuse me. Let me just double check that I have everything. Yeah. Okay. Morning. How's it going? The only honeycomb stream I get to watch in my time zone. Hi, Chipper. So sorry, it's the only time zone stream. You look so tired. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Gecko. I am so sorry I'm so late to stream. The reason is my pad leaked overnight. So there was blood on my clothes. So I had to take care of that. I'm tired, but that's okay. Good morning, Zooch. But yeah, it's rough when you're like, "Oh, yippee, I'm wearing the extra big pad for my period." And then I wake up and I'm like, "There's blood on my pants." There's blood between the cheeks. I have to clean. I have to clean my bed. At least it's nothing serious. Yeah. All good. It's a monthly worry. It sucks to get you, girly. It happens. It happens, frogs. Every once in a while, my period loves to surprise me like that. And so I do apologize for the late stream today. Dude, when I said blood for the blood god, this is not what I meant. Didn't expect you to say it like that. Listen, we gotta laugh about it. It's not even that bad. It's not even like, oh no, she's suffering. It's like, yeah, she's suffering, but it's kind of funny. So it's okay. You can laugh. You can laugh. It's okay. Oh, we respect and support Kucha during their special days. Mm-hmm. We never know what people are going through, so we always try to be nice. Who knows? They might be going through something rough in their life. They might just be having their period. Either way, be nice. On a positive note, at least it's not worse than being stuck in traffic. That's true. I think your period leaking a little bit, especially if you plan for it, is not as bad as getting stuck in traffic. It's all good. Because, like, whenever I'm on my period, I usually have a set of clothes that I wear where I'm like, okay, if this leaks, I'm not going to be upset. I'll just be like, oh, dang, I have to clean it. But it won't be anything like white pants or something. Honey, I was eating when you said that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The one honey stream you can tune into this week and you were eating while I was talking about my period. I experienced the pain and the cramps, but if I were to bleed during it, I would crash out. Fair. Sometimes you need the sacrificial undies. You do! If anyone with a uterus says they don't have sacrificial panties, they're either lying or woefully underprepared. I'm cramping right now, too. Oh my gosh! We're in sync! We're in sync! Oh my goodness! That's funny. That's pretty funny. The most wholesome of the goblins. Hello, Galahad. How goes it? People bleed sometimes. It happens. Absolutely. Absolutely. 50% over. I think it's over 50% of the population bleeds. It happens. Actually, it would be less because of menopause and people with hysterectomy. So it actually probably is a little less than 50%. But not by much, I would imagine. So I guess it would it would still be 50% because trans men can bleed. Alexis, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very, very much. Everyone bleeds under the right circumstances. Everyone has blood in them. I mean, yes. This art is wonderful. Thank you. We did this last stream. It's quite nice. I'm quite pleased with it. And where is this? There we go. There's the hand. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. And I'm going to start adding flowers and then we're going to color it. So basically today I'm trying to polish up my new air quotes style. This still looks like my art, but the coloring and rendering style is so much more fun than the way I usually color. Cause like before I changed up the way I was doing it, I would do this, where it's like I would do a bunch of roughs, polish it, get the clean line art, grayscale, and then color it by hand. But I always don't like doing line art. Like line art is fine. but it can sometimes make or break a piece. But instead, I somehow managed to make a really, really good looking piece with just the lasso tool and the fill tool. And so it looks good. I want to try to polish that style. But Alexis, I hope you're doing well today. And Jakobun, thank you for the resub. Happy 29 months. Have you considered drawing action poses for practice? I do usually draw action poses when I want to do studies. However, action poses are a little bit trickier when I'm worrying about coloring. Whenever I'm doing coloring, I try not to worry too much about the anatomy because that'll slow down the coloring process. But once I get used to this coloring process, I can start incorporating it with my more active action poses. So I'm kind of practicing one. The next model is a cowgirl model. Oh, no, no, no. If only. If only I had time to make another one. I'm currently working on a different one. Also, I think there's only 3 more days before I close my model commissions, so they're there. They're there. Thank you for the hydrate, by the way. Thank you very much, Bit. Yeah, I was tired because of my period. Woke up late. And I went, oh, I've bled. I bled on my pants. Okay. And so I messaged my mom. I'm like, I'm still in bed. I'm getting up now. We've had one, yes, but what about a second next model? It keeps going. It never ends. It never ends. I have this thought since last night. Imagine Honey chasing you with a war cry and dual wielding turkey legs as axes. Could be scary. Have a good pizza breakfast. Also, I still have breakfast in front of me, so don't mind me while I eat and chill. I want to get to multiply. Wallet says no. Absolutely fair, Frogs. I would much prefer if you were financially responsible and went, you know what, I'm going to save up, or go with another rigging artist that is much more in your budget, or even learn yourself, because it's absolutely possible to make models yourself. Bet Honey has a separate hard drive full of models she secretly worked on. No. No. I do have test models that I did where I was like, ooh, let's test out this new technique, and it didn't work. So I was like, okay, we put this one away. A lot of things can be learned from failure, more than success. Having shrimp breakfast, future me is going to kill me. You're making problems for future you. It is expected for a gobby to be constantly nomming on something. The shadow models. The secret one. The hard drive's full of fan art of Abe and Noy. They're secret files for a reason. Honey having something to eat on our stream, that's a normal part of the Honey experience. Yeah. Frogs, I could try. Laughs a new hobby. Get a new hobby. Expand your brain. Enjoy yourself. Test models, Honey? Ooh, I'm excited for your next one. Me too. I'm going slow. So I'm making myself a new model in my spare time. But rather than the last ones where I'm absolutely speeding through it, I am taking my time. And the main reason for this is, like, I don't want to burn out on it. And I want to pace myself and really take time to think whether or not they are choices I want to make. You know, where it's like, ooh, do I like this type of highlight? Do I like this type of rendering? And just kind of go from there. Drawing a portrait of the late Ozzy Osbourne for his birthday on the 3rd of next week. Didn't Ozzy Osbourne die? Oh, yes, the late. You said the late. I was like, for his next birthday, he doesn't have any more of those. That makes sense. We love avoiding burnout. We do love avoiding burnout. What if food? I have cottage cheese on toast with honey, and then the other one has salt and pepper on it. It's good. Brussels sprouts with bacon. Brussels sprouts and bacon for breakfast. That's like a tongue twister. But that sounds good, man. The turkey dinners, they come in breakfasts. They become in breakfasts. Oh, listen, you can't have fried rice for breakfast every day. It's not good for you. Think of your cholesterol. When do we expect you teasing your next model? Not for a while. So not until 2026 at least. Because I could potentially speed through it in December, but I'm going to slow down and take my time. because I don't want to burn out while I'm taking commissions. Bad idea. As long as you can have 2 slices of bread, anything can be a sandwich. That's true. Anything can be a sandwich. Thank you for the posture check myth and the breathe arty and the ear wiggles meta. Let's go. Cup rum and a stick of gum for breakfast? Well, it is a breakfast. I'll give you that one. Just committing self-cannibalism, eating honey. Delicious. I got the silliness in my blood called that high congestion. You do got the silly in your blood. We all do. Some more than others. Also, Tony, thank you for the reset. Happy 37 months. Well-hydrated goblin. I take another sip because I gotta drink a little more. Also, I have some questions. Mainly for y'all's opinion. Do y'all have favorite flowers? Because all these pictures involve flowers. This one's probably going to involve one. This one's going to probably have a flower crown. And this one is going to be like a little bouquet of flowers. I kind of wanted some flower ideas because instead of just making up flowers like I sometimes do, let's use reference. Lily of the Valley. Okay. Carnations. Trillium. Okay, let me look these up. So let me search these flowers up. Let's see. Lilac. I'm just gonna have a bunch of tabs open. Ooh, lilacs are pretty. Fire flowers from Mario count. I would say real flowers because we want to draw from IRL references. Frogs, I've never asked before because I don't know if you want to share it, but I haven't seen much of your art, so I draw my PFPs are a drawing I made, and I was wondering if you have any art tips. Absolutely, yes. Jack, your minor recipient was able to eat cyanide by eating really small amounts. He was immune. I don't recommend eating cyanide for obvious reasons. Yeah, don't do that. But yeah, art tips. That depends, Frogs. What kind of art tips are you looking for? Let's see. Mangoes? Mangoes are pretty. Let's see. Carnation? What in carnation? Ooh, carnations are pretty. Let's see. I love sunflowers. Sunflowers are difficult to draw in my experience, but I love them. Morning Glory. Okay. Let's see. Tulips. I have a funny story about tulips when I was a kid. Let's see. Snapdragon. And Lily of the Valley. Let's see. Gosh, I love mangoes. Roses are pretty cool. Roses. Daisies and orchids. Ooh. Orchids. Let's see. How do you guys have favorite flower? Chat. Flowers! Good. That's what I like to hear. Ooh, water lilies. Trouble thinking of them, but I remember Ohai Lihuna. Broccoli a flower? I think it can be. Chrysanthemum. Ooh, and spider lilies. So I'm going to look up these flowers and decide which is like the easiest ones for me to draw because I am a beginner of flowers. Let's see. Frogs. Just in general, like I hate coloring because none of my colors ever go together and my drawings all suffer from same face syndrome. Okay, excellent. So that's what I love about art and questions is you ask a general question, you get a general answer. But the more specific you are with questions, the more specific answer you'll get. I love that. I say mangoes because the fruit of a plant is also a flower. Ooh, true. But yeah, in general, you hate coloring. So I also do not like coloring because colors are my weakest point. Now, this is a trick I just recently learned that made coloring fun for me. Granted, it does not replace learning the basics of color theory, but this can absolutely help. So what I did is, for this, I got my... So originally when I drew this, these are the references provided by my friends. So if we look at these, we have this one, which is Sakura. No, this is Tiku. This is Tiku. And so this was drawn by the DM. This is a DM PC. And then we have Heikel. And I did not have a color palette. So what I did was I took all of these colors after I did the grayscale. Turn on to grayscale. There we go. So I did a grayscale of all the characters. Grayscale is a great way to do stark colors because you can get this sense of composition of the characters and where the focus should be with contrast. So it's really good there. And what I did was I color picked all of the colors off of their art pieces. And what I did was I grabbed them like this, where these are the original colors. So you can see from Heikel's palette, I grabbed these colors, these ones here. From Varen's color palette, I grabbed these colors here. And from Tiku's, it's mostly these colors. For Callum, I didn't really know, so I grabbed like a bunch of like autumnal colors. And what I did was I chose a base color for them. What I did was I chose a color that I think would reunify them. And it can really be any color. I just wanted something earthy. So I chose a base color of this kind of brown burgundy sort of color, like dry burgundy. And what I did was I grabbed it, put it across all of them, and made the main palettes 80% opacity, 85 actually. And then what I did is I color grabbed each of the part overlapping, so not this, but this up here, and then drew it underneath. And that's how I unified their color palettes. That's how I made all their color palettes look like they fit together. And so it ends up looking like this. But yeah, in terms of same face syndrome, what I would recommend is trying to draw different characters. So think about shapes. What does everyone's face shape look like? These all have the similar building blocks of kind of similar skeletons, but it's the other things around it that make them look different. Just grab the colors. Quick, hide the colors. But yeah, so you can see like proportions is how I make them look different. For example, let me remove the reference for clarity. Tiku is completely different. This is non-humanoid, or not human features, so already looks different. I made the eyes really big, the face really smooth, and a very, very defined mouth. For Varen, I made the eyes really big but droop. I gave them this sort of shape. Instead of this shape, which is closer to Tiku's, let me move this. You can even see the different eye shapes here. Varen's eyes are a bit more like this. As well as Heikel's eyes might be similar, but they're a lot more narrow. And then Callum's are a lot more like this. So the different shapes of eyes can help to make the characters feel different. They're very helpful that way. If you look at the proportions as well, I gave them all very different noses. So if you look at Tiku, Tiku doesn't have a nose. That kind of helps because Tiku is a bug. For Varen, I gave him sort of a crooked nose, which was in the original drawing of the reference provided, so it made it really easy. I gave him a bit more of a triangle bottom and then a diamond shape here so that it has a different sort of silhouette to my other characters when it comes to breaking down the shapes. You can even break it down like this, where it's just arrows for the nose. Heikel's a lot simpler. Heikel I gave, as well as the artist gave, more of a long, triangular, smooth nose. And for Callum, the nose is a little bit more of what I'm used to drawing, which is a lot more of a sort of, not button nose exactly, but like kind of like that. So a bit more like this. So you can see how the shapes are different and the proportions are different. You can even look at the different shaped eyebrows. Varen's eyebrows are a lot thicker. They're a lot more like this. Heikel's are a lot more line-like, and Callum's are also line-like, but I gave them a little bit of shape in the front. Tiku has sort of antenna, so that's how I get around with Tiku. But this is kind of how I break down shapes to make them look a little more diverse. Something to also consider is this may be difficult because I struggle with this, but try to draw people that you would consider not stereotypically attractive. For example, you can study pictures of movie actresses and movie actors, and that can give you some perspective on how to make face shapes look different. But you will notice after a little bit, all of their faces are kind of similar. All of them have very similar facial features when you look at beautiful people. So it can make it very difficult to draw different looking characters when you haven't studied different looking faces. So try to study old people. Study old people faces, study baby faces, study toddlers, study teenagers, study people who have different racial features, some who are different colors of skin tone, because that can affect the shading and how light bounces off of it. For example, with black people and people closer to the equator, light bounces off their skin in different ways than it does with paler skin tones. There's also undertones to consider. That's getting a little deep into it, especially for me, who is not very experienced in that, because I don't really excel at drawing undertones. I'm not very good at it. I'm much better with flat colors, but that is definitely something to consider. So if you feel like your faces look the same, vary up the shapes. Like another example I'll give you right here is the head shapes. Tiku's head shape is pretty much a teardrop, an upside down teardrop. That's how I make Tiku kind of shorthand. Varen's face is a little bit more soft and long. So kind of like this. If I were to really exaggerate it, it looks kind of like this. This is too exaggerated, but I'm kind of emphasizing it. Convex is concave. Yeah. I made Heikel's face a little bit round as well. So it's kind of in between Tiku's and Varen's. Not as sharp as Varen's, but not as round as Tiku's. And then Callum's I made a little bit more square. So Callum's face is a little bit more like this. And granted, they are not super, super different, but having the different shapes can help to push your characters and make them look identifiable. Another thing to do is silhouettes. Each of their silhouettes is different. Callum has the horns and the spiky hair. Heikel has just the ears, no hair. Varen has curly hair. And then Tiku has the very, very fluffy sort of fur in the back. So each of them have very distinct features that make their silhouettes and their faces look different. It's better than my art teacher somehow. Oh, good. I'm glad. Part of it is like I learned this in art school, but it's also you learn this and then you can't really stop seeing it everywhere. When you look at pictures of people online, especially ones that are models and I guess conventionally attractive, they all look similar in different ways. There is a smoothness to them that can be very difficult to draw and difficult to differentiate. You'll probably notice that people look, especially like models, and I don't mean high fashion, because high fashion models can look really different. Those are fun to study. But like stereotypical Instagram models look a very particular way. Even Hollywood actors and actresses look a very particular way, where it's like your brain goes, oh, they're pretty, but I can't really remember how to draw them, like what they look like, what makes them look like them. It's because their features are very good to look at for our brains in terms of like, oh, we think they're beautiful, but they're not very diverse. They don't have a lot of features that stick out or are pronounced. You know, when someone is conventionally ugly, we remember them more. Our brain is fascinated by them and studies them and goes like, oh, interesting. Why do I feel this way? Or when someone is normal looking, why aren't they what I would consider conventionally attractive? You know, this is not to say like it is bad to study any faces, but it is important to study all faces, the best of your ability. Because diversity is what makes your art stand out. If your art looks exactly the same all the time, it's not going to be able to be distinguishable to either yourself or other artists, you know? Mm-hmm. Turns out people are all just different shades of orange. Orange and red. We all have, for the most part, red tones in our skin. Here be Honey Fortnite live event. Ooh, have fun, Banjo. I think it's because Honey speaks in a less of this is how it's done and there's no alternative, and more of a here's how I see it and here's some fun ways to see it in the real world to get inspiration. Yeah, that is the lovely thing about art, is that there's no one way to do it. There are air quotes rules, but as many artists will attest, you learn the rules so you know how to break them. You learn because they're not really rules, they're guidelines. You learn the guidelines, you follow the railroad tracks to understand the route, but you can divert at any point because you are not a train. You are not a machine that follows rules exactly. You are an artist who is allowed to express yourself and try new things and try things wrong, you know? Trying things wrong is great. You learn so much more from failure than you do success. If you are only succeeding, you are not really pushing yourself. You are not challenging yourself to grow faster. You know? I am Dre. Choo choo. Meta, yeah, didn't you also say that studying old faces is good since they have real visible cheekbones? Yes. So studying old faces. Also, I'll do the reviews in a moment. Sorry, I got in my loop of talking about art. But old people are really great to study, especially to understand not expressions, bones and the way skin works. Because when you are older, your cartilage keeps growing. Like you lose a lot more fat in your face, and your cartilage of your nose, ears, I think there's one more thing, continues to grow. You will see where your face sags and where your skin is sitting. So you can kind of break down where the facial muscles are really, really well. It's really good to study older people too because they're very easy to caricature. Because their faces are already so exaggerated in terms of proportions, you get to learn a lot of how to simplify faces by studying them. I think it's really good. Honey talking about art on his stream, more likely than you think, more probable than you think. Old people are great to study. This is true in psychology and history perspective too. Yep. Fun fact: the Turritopsis dorni jellyfish is considered biologically immortal. It can revert to its polyp stage after reaching maturity. There's immortality in things all around us, but is it really living? They may live forever, or they may be alive forever, but are they really living? Go and head out for a smidge. Yeah, take it easy. Be French. I hope nothing's wrong with your car, or if there is, it gets fixed. Big Will, thank you for the hydrate, posture, save, and Shrimpku, thank you for the breathe. We'll save. A little stretch. Or man, I got a great night's sleep. Woke up, took my medication, took some Motrin for my back, ate breakfast, got dressed, and went outside to shovel snow. Good luck. Be sure to stretch before you hurt yourself. Be careful. I hope shoveling snow goes well. A lot of people injure their backs shoveling snow. It's easier than you think. Let's hydrate. Alrighty. Got a great night's sleep. Oh, I remember when I went to see the Joker in cinema, and the bus on my way home watched a guy that was a carbon copy of Joaquin Phoenix. I can't say his name right. Even on the green eyes, I was scared to be sitting next to him. Fair. Let me grab the flower examples. Y'all provided lovely flower examples. I'm gonna see if I can draw them. Now the real question is time to distinguish the ones from AI. Okay, there we go. Usually the ones from universities are pretty reliable as far as I've seen so far, but who knows? Okay. Copy image. These are lilacs. Whoa, it's big. Okay. I do like lilacs. They're very pretty. Plus want to show chat. Ooh, let me see. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Wait, what is that eldritch goblin noise? Also, I love that Polaroid camera. It looks so cool, Jedi. Ooh, okay. Lava roses. Ooh, those are pretty. Sorry, I'm looking at flowers for reference before I start drawing them. Plumeria. Ooh, these I think I know these ones. I think I know these ones, snails. I do really. Oop, that is not the right image. I think they're called like dakwa. No, that's a food. No, what is it? I think it's also in Hawaii. Let's get hibiscus flower, kind of. Yeah. I think I know these ones. That looks like AI. It's so tough to tell nowadays. It's so frustrating. I might add an extension that blocks any search results past 2022. Because there's an extension for that. And I have Firefox and Chrome on my computer, so maybe I'll put it on Chrome or Firefox and then just use it for reference searching. Vanilla flower is nice looking. Ooh. I think this is it. Yeah. I do like these ones. They're very pretty. Inserts all off and add minus AI. It works sometimes. It works sometimes. Ooh, Zindel. I hope they're good pancakes. Let's see. Morning glories are really pretty. Tulips. Snapdragon are really pretty. Let me look at... I think this one's real. Let's choose one more flower that I think I could probably draw. Oh, Lily of the Valley is beautiful. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Lily of the Valley is very, very pretty. I want to get one with both the front and the back. Let's see. Is this... I think this is potentially real. They come in blue? No, that's AI. No. Here's the tricky thing, because if you grab reference from AI, you're not actually going to be studying how the flowers work. That's the frustrating thing. Yeah, that's just AI. I think this one's real. Yeah, well, we'll use this one. I think it's tough to tell now, but we do our best. Chicory flower is my personal favorite. Flowers are good. Sushi, it's like before 2022 or something in YouTube. Yeah. There's a search command in YouTube that lets you see results only before a certain year. I forget what it is. Could be good. It's very frustrating because I know there are people posting past 2022 that are not at all using AI because a lot of us despise it. Like a lot of people are like, why do we keep getting this forced down our throat? But in terms of like when I'm doing research now, I can't trust anything past 2022. It's really tough. Like the only times I could potentially trust things is like from universities and like peer-reviewed papers. Even then, I'm still skeptical of them, unfortunately, where it's like, did they use an AI? Was it biased? And I don't know if they disclose that now. And it's like, So I have to be like very, very careful. Art is arting. We do it art. I'm taking a little bite of my breakfast though. Let me eat some. Impossible Lemon, thank you for the 27 months. Welcome back. Little crunch. I'm doing research paper for my final and finding non-AI influenced info is such a struggle. Pretty much the thing you have to do now is look, and if the paper was published post 2022, odds are it may not be reliable. But it's so frustrating. I feel ya. So I think my research is about something that happened in the time frame. Oh no! I'm so sorry. There is no prior info. That's rough. Gee, I wish I had a better eye for it, but I really can't tell. It is very difficult to tell. And with some of the updates that have been done, it's basically impossible to tell when an image is AI now. And so it's like, okay. Very frustrating. Also, hi Wobblies. It's very frustrating because like I don't want to feed my art into the algorithm. Or not the algorithm, the scraping bots. So I'm trying to find ways to get around it. But everything keeps integrating AI into itself, and I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And organic art news, have you seen the Mighty Nine? Critical Role is making anime based on their D&D campaigns. Yeah! I've heard about that. I watched the first one. Haven't watched the second one yet. It's easier to tell when it's people, even when it's an AI video. So super simple. It has become too difficult to tell now. It's become incredibly difficult to tell. Like, I have seen the updates. It made me so upset where I'm like, my nephew is living in a world where I have to make sure he watches real things, and it's so frustrating. It kept me up until like 3:30 at night where I was just seizing in bed going like, I can't believe my nephew has to live through this. I can't believe this. Because it's a toxic mind feels up. Yep. So thankfully his mom, my sister, is very, very good at making sure he doesn't have iPad time. Because she's gone to daycares and seen the effects of iPad kids. And she's like, nah, my kid is not going through that. He is watching movies. He's watching movies at particular times and it's in a slow amount because he is going to be chill. And the thing is, he is 2. He can already talk very, very clearly. He's very, very smart. Everyone's always like, oh, my kid's so smart. It's like, no, my kid can actually talk quite a bit. My kid, my nephew. But yeah, he can talk quite a bit. It's good. He's very smart, and his mom is very, very nice and very, very aware of what's going on in the world. And I'm like, thank you very much. Thank you. Maybe when I get my hands on it, I need to wash my hands after because it's so icky. Teachers have it so rough. I'm so sorry for teachers. But the people who shade their art by color shifting random images like shrimp and it messes with scraping bots. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's great. A beautiful gobble surrounded by beautiful flowers. Yeah, I'm gonna add flowers into the pictures. It'll be fun. Maybe the inventor of modern AI regrets making them notice bad. Here's the thing. We had science fiction warning us of how bad this would be. And then tech bros took that as, we should do this. And it's like, no, we're warning you that you shouldn't. Oh. Now freaking Disney's making AI shorts and insult to their legacy. Oh, Disney's been cooked for a long time. Disney been washed out for a long time. We've entered the Torment Nexus from the novel. Please don't invent the Torment Nexus. Really, that is what it is every time. Every single time. It's like, don't make the Torment Nexus. And Tech Bros are like, we made the Torment Nexus real. And it's like, don't! Stop it! I'm trying to teach my little cousin to draw. She's so sweet. Oh, that's lovely! Drawing is excellent for kids' motor skills and creativity. It is genuinely something that is really good for them. It is also a fairly quiet activity, or at least a very thoughtful activity for them to do. So, good on you. Love and hope, everyone. Hey, Stemphy. It's good to see you. All right, let's do a little bit of roughs. I'm going to put... Let's do lilacs on the bottom. Move this up here. Let's do a bushel of lilacs for this one. We'll do some lily of the valley for this one, and these two will combine for this one. I think they're really pretty. I'm done with Marvel and Disney as they confirmed that they want to do AI content for Disney Plus. Yeah, I've been done with Disney for a long time. It's very frustrating. Like, I've been done with Disney for a long time. The moment Disney chose to do live action of original movie shows that Disney lost its magic. Disney is so afraid to take risks that it's like, oh, we will make an AI, a computer that will do the thing for us based on our old products, because that made money. And it's like, that's... Disney made money and built its business so strongly because it took risks. It took so many risks that no one else was doing it like Disney. And that's... Everyone afterwards was trying to do it like Disney. AI is becoming a problem, especially if it's used to do things like fake accidents, such as someone pushing someone onto a train track. Yeah, it's... the age of being able to verify something is getting close to over, which is so unfortunate. Disney was a huge part of my childhood, so hard to let go, but they stumble a lot. Here's the thing. I love 2D and 3D Disney movies for the most part. Pretty much everything pre-pandemic. A little bit into the pandemic, I liked some of their 3D movies. But yeah, it's sad to see. It's very frustrating to see, but it's also a good time for me to learn how to burn DVDs. Because I found a bunch of DVDs and CDs, and I'm going to learn how to burn movies onto them. Because if buying isn't owning, then piracy is not stealing. So you gotta remember that. That's why I refuse to do subscription services for shows. It's so frustrating. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Burning DVDs has been forever. I worry for this generation, because here's the thing. This new generation is going to learn how to pirate things, but they're not going to be as aware, because everything has been made appified and easy. We gotta teach the youth about burning DVDs and CDs and making mixtapes. It's fun and good, and it lasts for years upon years. Unlike streaming services where they can delete stuff once they're done with it. It's like, no. Generally mildly terrified of how AI generation is going to affect stuff like court proceedings. Are lawyers going to have to prove stuff isn't AI in AI for soon? Yep. It is. You're going to see a lot of videos of crimes of usually people of color doing things that they did not do. That's why, unfortunately, it is really important to make sure someone can confirm your whereabouts on certain days, you know? It is very important. You wouldn't download a car? I would. I would, though. In this economy? That's one of the reasons why I don't post pictures of myself online. I do not post pictures of myself online. If I take a picture of myself, it stays with me. I have an old camera that's not connected to the internet. It cannot connect to the internet because it's so old. That I just am planning on finding the charger for and using so that I can have photos that are not Apple files that are so weird and that I can just have. I can just have them, you know? I can have memories that aren't on the cloud. It's a shame they didn't teach us media literacy in schools. It really is a shame that they did not. It's very frustrating. They did not teach it, and they did not teach it well if they did. Because so many people are illiterate. By illiterate, I don't mean they can't read. I mean they don't understand what they're reading. Trying to bring back physical photo albums. That's the thing. I love being able to take pictures really quickly of my nephew when he does something really adorable. It's great. I am going to absolutely edit it and put it on a DVD so that I can remember it for later. Because I don't like having stuff like that on my phone constantly. You seeing that reminded me I ought to get my photos printed just in case. Yeah, I'm at the point where like I have a lot of photos that I'm like, okay, I have to get them off of my phone. Otherwise, if something happens to my phone, they're just gone. You know, because I don't want to put them in the cloud because I do not trust like that. So I gotta put stuff not there. Worried now that it's gonna take something cataclysmic for people to finally realize things need to change for the better, not benefit the 1%. A lot of people do realize there needs to be change. The problem is we are very separated. What's your favorite movie? Ooh. That's a hard one. Also, Mako Soko, thank you for the sub. Welcome on into the tavern. I hope we're doing well. Favorite movie is probably Pride and Prejudice. That one has some emotional significance to me. Because it's something that my mom and I would watch together when I was a kid. And even if I didn't understand it, my mom would take time to explain it to me. And that was really nice of her. I appreciate that. Because I always felt like I was really slow to pick up movies in terms of like understand what was happening. Especially with very heavy and complex talking movies like Pride and Prejudice. And now that I understand it as an adult, watching it and listening and to the dialogue, I'm like, oh, this is really good. Okay. They did teach media literacy, but it was an elective course, at least in my school. And my teacher in that class is why I got interested in writing. I did take an information literacy class in middle school. At the time, I thought it was so boring and a bunch of obvious stuff, and it served me more than just about anything I ever learned. What's your favorite scary movie? Ooh. Depends on what counts as a scary movie, because I love Coraline. I love stop motion horror like that. I love, let's see, what's it called? I love the Fear Street series. The first three, they're very, very good. And then, what else? Hello, Jeff. Oh, Sinners. I love Sinners. Sinners is so good. Highly recommend watching Sinners if you haven't watched it before. It is so, so good. Such a good movie. The music is excellent, too. Saying a joke from Scream, didn't expect an honest answer. Oh, sorry. I take things very literally. Fear Street, I haven't heard that in years. I used to read Fear Street books at the time when I was a teenager. I never read the books, but Gabi introduced me to the movies, Fear Street, the Netflix ones, and I'm like, they're really good. Those are coming in the burn to DVD selection. I'm getting those DVDs. You have any advice for a young artist? My little sister is 12 and she's very talented drawing anatomy and shading. Anything I should recommend to her? Interesting. So, do you have any questions specifically or general advice on how to proceed as an artist? Because, like, for a 12-year-old artist, I would recommend. You know what? Actually, I should probably adjust my usual recommendations because of the age of AI. What I would recommend is if she would like to study art or learn and gather references, like I am now, where I am looking for images, look for anything pre-2022. So look at library books of flowers, library books of animals, library books of movies and film productions and concept art pre-2022 ideally. You can still find ones without AI now, but pre-2022 is very good because there was no AI there. So if you are looking for references and learning resources, that is a great place to go, is a little bit into the past. But yeah, it's great. For a 12-year-old, very talented anatomy and shading, that's great. Anatomy is very difficult and can be hard to grasp. There's nothing wrong with sticking with pencil and paper until you can afford a tablet. If you are looking for a digital tablet, I would recommend something within your budget. There are different kinds. There's ones where you can draw on the screen. There are ones where you can draw on a flat tablet and it appears on the screen. Find what she's comfortable with and what is within her budget. Make sure you download the proper drivers for it too. Usually the setup will be explained when you get the product. But yeah, that's most of the general advice I have for that. Also, have fun with it. Draw what you like. For both Honey and Chat, what's your favorite B horror movie? Type of horror that's so cheesy but taken so serious you can't help but love it. Jennifer's Body's really good. I don't know if that's B horror though. I don't think that's B horror. All right, let's do a little rough of flowers. Brown, brown, brown. Let's do flower roughs. If you can buy it new, chances are the driver is decently up to date. Yes. I bought my tablet used from a friend of a friend, I guess. And this person was reliable because my friend knew them. But this is it. I use a used tablet. So nothing wrong with getting used tools, especially since sometimes used tools are still really good quality. But like mine is pretty old and it's only starting to lose sensitivity a little bit in the edges here. But even then, sometimes it works, so I'm not too worried about it. I think for me, I paid about 1,000 for a used tablet, so yeah. New Perspective from Jennifer's Body has been one of my favorite songs for years. It's a good one. They have nice little soft branches here. Maybe a little thinner. I'm trying to study the pattern of how they droop. Find someone who looks at you the way Honey looks at a flower. I stare at them. Come on, out from underneath who you are. Come on, come on. You know that it's time to emerge. My voice is not warmed up. I was running late. Jeff paid about 2K for my tablet in 2017, and I have never not had buyer's remorse since. Yeah? You have buyer's remorse? Was it too much, Jeff? But like, if your tablet works and you use it, I hope that that's enough. Wonder if any artist has attempted to create an image that looks like AI but isn't. Absolutely. Yes, I have seen artists try to do it. It is not too difficult. It is frustrating that AI, it keeps changing and getting good. And that was never the question, because like, here's the thing. AI was always going to get better. The more it studies, the more it gets refined, the air quotes better and more accurate, air quotes accurate it will get. That was never the problem. The problem was that it was stolen databases. It's not using materials that it's allowed to use. Artists and people did not give their permission for that software to train their software on their photos. You know? Jeff, it's too goddamn big and too goddamn expensive. Fair, 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 fair. Sometimes it'd be like that. Can always downsize if you want, but honestly, if it's working, I would hold on to it. Hi, Fat did you ever try to master the shading style like in Hades? I didn't try to master it more, but I did draw a little bit more like it. It's reminiscent of Mike Mignola, and Gen Z, she does a great job of drawing it. Want to add some flowers here. And it's really, really pretty style. I like it quite a bit. Let's see. There was once an AI photo compilation where someone managed to win with an image they handmade. He tricked them into thinking his image was AI. Good for him. Hi, Blythe. I hope you're doing good. Ugh. Does your goblin have a crow line toggle? I swear I didn't see those bags before. Maybe I wasn't observant enough. I do have a bags toggle. I can look extra tired. For fun. For fun. But yeah. I can also add my wings back. Not the book. Glasses. There we go. Missed if you haven't already said, but what's your favorite flower? I do... there's a lot of flowers I really like. But I think my favorite is probably red clover. I think red clovers are beautiful. Here's the thing as well. They are very common. You have probably seen these before. I think this is good. It's this one. I love red clovers. They're one of my favorite flowers. I'm a big partial to rosemary flower. Ooh, rosemary flowers. I love these flowers. I love common flowers because a lot of the times common flowers are quite good for bees. I've seen those. Yeah, you've probably seen them everywhere. They kind of grow everywhere. I based a lot of the flowers in my current outfit on them. Also, Stempy, thank you for the earwolves. Can't remember if I did it. And Shrimpku, thank you for the breathe. Excuse me. Let's see. I'm just trying to break down how I would draw these. They got like a bunch of different parts to them. They have a sort of flowery up top part. These are like snapdragons, I think. Then they have an internal part that looks like a labia, and then they have this part here, like this. They're very complex flowers. I I tried to ignore the what is art side of AI Gen in favor of material arguments, but at this point people know them and they're either okay with it or not. In my experience, so all I have left is trying to emphasize how soulless it all is. It just fundamentally is not art. Yeah. All squished. Yeah, it's all squished. Let's see. So then they have little bits like this. Little buds. Buds. And then it eventually turns into kind of what looks like corn. Like a little, like a mini corn, kinda. I think that's cool. The souls of those who lost. I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed. What of the greatest threat we find across the sea? Is me. There we go. A fluid in your tummy. All right. Thank you for the hydrate, Zindel. Tagaki, thank you for the posture check. Oh. Shio, I bring an interesting flower fact from the void. Red clover has 2/3 more digestible protein than alfalfa, which is why it is often used in pasture and hay grass. Due to its best growing in full sunlight, it is often grown in large meadows and fields of hay for grazing. Ooh, that's cool. Wonder if I ever tried to eat these. I don't know if we ever tried to eat red clover. I know that clover is a very good plant, just in general, for like pollinators and grass. But I have no idea if we tried to eat it. I know we can eat dandelions. We'll eat anything. True, we will eat quite a bit. Hi, Oblot. And Telemachus, so if we must sail through. Then I'll become the monster. I will deal the blow. And I'll become the monster than they've ever known. So what if I'm the monster lurking deep below? Let's become the monster, then we'll make it whole. Oh, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. How to prepare dandelions to make them taste better? So you can eat the dandelion leaves like salad. You can make dandelion wine, dandelion tea with the roots, I think, and the stems. There's particular ways of preparing them, but dandelions are quite good. Amazing how many different animatics there are from the epic songs. Oh, the artists absolutely went ham. Absolutely. Dandelion and burdock soda is nice too. Ooh, I haven't tried that. I do have a little more toasty. Let me. Technically speaking, pine trees are entirely edible. Even the wood? I know you can make white pine tea. I have before. It's very bitter. Okay, these are 4 leaves. It's a bit like a arugula, but with tough relief. Oh, okay. Mmm. Pine jelly is pretty good. Really? I've never tried pine jelly. For a while, I thought using dandelion in food and drink was something made up in the Rebel books. Mm-mm. Nice for the save, Zindale. Save. I had a bearded dragon whose favorite tree was dandelion flowers too. We grew a pot of it for her. Cute. They have very interesting leaves. They're almost like this. Oh my gosh, I've been rewatching the Twilight series, which is what this song Decode is from. It's so bad. It's so funny. I would change absolutely nothing. It's so good. I love it. I have to rewatch, or not rewatch. I have to watch, well, it is rewatch. I watched it before. Because I watched these movies when I was a kid. But I'm watching it with some homies right now. And we have seen, two of us have seen it already, but we're introducing it to two more of our friends who have not seen them. It's so good. Jeff, it is so funny. It's so, so funny. The books are even worse. The books aren't bad. Like, they're fine. They're kind of just fun little books. I think there's a level of when a book gets exposed to the movie treatment, people are like, it must be really good. It's like, no, it could just be a fun movie. It can just be a fun book. It's so spoilers for a over 10-year-old movie. Edward and Bella are so bad for each other. It's so funny. They coerce and gaslight each other so much. It's so funny. It's like, oh my gosh, you're both awful. You're meant for each other. Jacob, you deserve better. And then I'm like, Jacob, what are you doing? Jacob, no, stop, get out while you still can. And then he gets deeper in. Extremely funny. People love werewolves and vampires. Oh, absolutely. I love werewolves and vampires. So what you're saying is that they're the average straight relationship. Good news is, I have a lot of straight friends that are fine. One of them is fine. They're fine. The one place in the last movie has absolutely no reason to be good. Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited for that last one. For my friends to see that last one, because it actually is very good. Like, genuinely, it is a good fight. The movie turns into a really fun fantasy action movie in the last movie, and you're like, what the heck? We could have had this the whole time? Instead, we got a 17-year-old, a forever 17-year-old marrying an 18-year-old and gaslighting each other. Wow. We could have had it all. Oh, running up the hill. Let's go. And then Jacob falls in love with the baby. I'm so funny. So funny. Yeah, so the first movie took me out when they started moving in motion blur super speed. It's so funny. Here's the thing. To make them look faster, they motion blur the vampires falling. Which is like, that looks ridiculous. Motion blurring them jump fast? Fine. But then gravity has to affect them, so they gotta fall slower than they run. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. It's so funny. The song is still different how original the vibes are from Kate Bush's original. Yeah. Absolutely. Hold on tight, Spider Monkey. Those rent free in my head. There's a lot of monkey pet names. In the first movie, Rosalie just looks at Emmett while they're playing baseball and goes, my monkey man. And I'm like, I forgot about this. I forgot about this one. It's cool for Robert Pattinson. He fought to not get typecast as creepy vampire lover. Good for Kristen Stewart, Anna Kendrick, and Robert Pattinson for going to do other, more successful things. Well, other things, I guess. It's so funny. They made a spin-off that's even funnier. Did they? When? When? I never liked Twilight, but I would 100% mock watch. Here's the thing. We are never going to get another one like it. And that's why I love it. Not that that's the only one that exists. It's just they committed whole heart to trying to make this believable and work with so much commitment that it's amazing. That it turned out really good. It's good and bad, but most of all, it's always entertaining. It's never not entertaining. And that's the best part. It's not like everything is random and thrown in with random plot points. The actual plot thread throughout the entire movies is good. It's very good. But it's the character moments that are really funny. Because you would not like these people. You would not like these people in real life. Mirror's Lament, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. Let's see. Oh, how is your art? What were y'all drawing? I am just drawing myself in a lineless art style, so I'm adding flowers. Welcome in. We're also bye frogs. Take it easy, all right? But yeah, if you want to share your art, feel free to send it one to the mods. Absolutely. We can look at it on stream, but if not, that is absolutely okay. It's working on an outfit commission. Ooh, okay. That sounds like fun. Right now, I am polishing up a lineless style. So before I started doing lineless, my art kind of looked like this, which is really sketchy, and the line arts, love this. But then I got good, especially, I love my little guy. I'm gonna play D&D later with him. And, yeah. And so now I'm trying to polish that up with my new art. Much like the Shady Buffet in the Financial District, it has something for everyone. Exactly. Sorry, we're talking about the Twilight movies and how I love them. I love the Twilight movies. People are like, oh, honey, you like the Twilight movies? I'm like, yes, I do. And they're like, oh, do you think it's good? I'm like, no, it's not. But it's so good at the same time. It's good and it's not. It's great. I love it. We're also working on D&D stuff. Nice. Fun fact, how Robert Pattinson got the iconic Edward Smolder was pretending he was about to throw up. So every time he saw Bella, it's canon he was holding back bile. That makes sense. That tracks. It's fun bad. Mm-hmm. Like Ghost Stories? No, Ghost Stories is different. Like, legitimately, Ghost Stories is boring to me. I've watched it. It's very boring. There's occasional fine, interesting dub moments. It's not very interesting, though, but Twilight, throughout the entire thing, keeps you engaged. It keeps you engaged in the best way possible, where you want to know what happens next, because you know it's going to be dramatic, and everyone's going to believe it in the movie, and it's funny. There's no irony poisoned in it. There's no irony poisoning it. These people fully are committed to this act. And I love that. I miss that. I miss when people will put their whole heart into it and believe things believably, instead of getting just irony poisoned like Marvel. I'm very tired of Marvel comedy. It's very frustrating. It's the difference between a deliberate bad and an earnest bad. I don't even say bad. Like, bad implies like, oh, it's not good. It's like, it is. It does a good job of doing what it do. My favorite horror movie of all time is Cabin in the Woods. That's a good one. I will say it's fine. Like, I liked Cabin in the Woods. But my favorite's probably Fear Street, Jennifer's Body, and Coraline. Coraline's a great one. Just be thank you. I'm trying to draw some flowers here. The river runs dry and the curtain is cold. How will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up for air and choke on it all. I'm gonna do a classic art trick. Y'all are gonna get mad at me for this, but it works. Ain't gonna be when the empire falls. Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten. Not be begging for release when all is silence to you feels like it's screaming to me. Ah, my voice. Wait, I want more. Keep cooking, man. Thank you. I love it, honey. I can't believe you did whatever the thing is. I'm basically just tracing flowers. Sometimes tracing is good in your art, especially when it comes to reference. Genuinely, like, that is fine. What if the diamond days are all gone? And who will I be when the empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten. Goblin does this classic artist hater. She practices. She practices. She does the basics. I always find it frustrating when people are like, oh, artists are just born with it. It's like, no. I worked hard to be like this. I worked hard to be this good. It is a skill that you train. To think that you either have it or don't is a weak mindset. It means you've given up before you've even tried. It hasn't occurred to you that anything any human does, you can probably do to a certain extent. Maybe not the same as them, but you can do it your own way. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do. Why are you limiting yourself? DJ, thanks for the lurk. Have a good one. And I have a movie. Oh, you're seeing the new Zootopia movie. Hope it's fun. Hope you enjoy yourself. You think Mozart was born with talent? Hell no. Came out of the womb, stylus, and art tablet in hand. Alright, we're just gonna bunch this. Your secret inside. There's so many flowers here. A bouquet. Yeah, a little bouquet of flowers. This is so many details. What was I thinking? Bouquet. Why? Why did I do this? Me halfway through any big project with details, I'm like, why did I do this to myself? I had this idea. Why did I do this? What was I thinking? Alright. Alright, that should be good for now. Let's put some of these in there. Sorry, I locked in. One sec. Okay. Ooh, larkspur. Oh, dang, man, those are pretty. Blackjack dahlia tubers. Tubers, really? Ooh. Oh, those are good flowers. Those are nice ones, snails. Sorry, I'm just checking out the Discord. Genuinely, what I've done to avoid getting AI in my references is I've tried to take pictures of whatever I'm doing, like any flowers I see. Hey, Darkheart. Locked in. Hyper focus, honey. Do you have specific stories you draw inspiration from? See what I did there? I see. Specific stories I draw inspiration from. I like drawing from old myths and legends. And also dark religion sort of vibes. I love Trench Crusader because it is like one of my favorite sort of it mixes the dark imagery, dark religious imagery that I am a big fan of. I'm not a particularly religious person. We were all raised in a kind of Catholic or what is it, Christian culture, but I love the darkness. Tombstone. Well, I suppose that is a 100% success rate on avoiding AI. Yep. It is what I do to avoid AI the most. It's also just nice to have when you're looking through your photos and you're feeling kind of depressed. You're like, there are beautiful things in the world. Religious trauma do be hitting when the time for art comes. It really does. I'm not religious. I didn't really go to church. I went to church a couple times when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure my mom was like, I'm bored of this, and this is very not interesting. I'm just gonna raise my kids with a very like general concept of like death in the afterlife, and we'll just go from there. So I was like, okay, sure, mom. I saw him at coffee ad about anti-scam prevention software, but it's so ironic the ad was made with AI. It's so stupid. It's the call is inside the house, baby. Trench Crusade is pretty fantastic. I really like Trench Crusade. It's really nice. Do I want to add more flowers? Yes, I do. I do. Let those stretch. Oh. MCR, let's go. 5 minutes later, the whole canvas is nothing but flowers. Would be nice if I could draw flowers that fast, but no. Ironically enough, the most accepting and caring people I ever met were Satanists. I don't mean to say anything about that, and I don't believe, but I thought it was interesting. Yep, it's one of the things that I think is very common with people who are very devout and religious, and like proclaim they can do no wrong because they're a Christian is like, no, you often do a lot of wrong and a lot of cruel things, and then all you believe you have to do is admit that you feel bad about it and that you're free after that. Like, so many people just treat it like homework. They're like, oh, I can continue to do this bad thing because if I go to church on Sunday and feel really, really bad about it, I can just keep doing it. It's like, no, that makes you a bad person. Like, that's not how that works. But people genuinely believe that, and it's like, no, that's not how that works. Spent a lot of time with pagans. Even helped officiate a pagan wedding. I called in the spirit of the wind in the stone circle. We had meat and cake. It was awesome. Yeah. So I actually practiced a bit of Wiccanism because I was curious about it when I was a kid. I didn't follow through with it very much. I was like, ooh, I find this very, very interesting. I like how it draws from different elements and stuff and like sees the world in a different way. Jeff, death of accountability? Yeah, pretty much with a lot of like churchgoers, unfortunately. But yeah, Satanists are often, I find, very cool because it's not that they believe in the devil of Satan. It's like they literally believe that like none of it exists. If you believe in God, then you probably believe in the devil. But they don't believe in either, so neither exists. I can definitely agree with some of their stuff. I haven't really done a deep dive into Satanism, so I can't really say for sure. But I did meet a Satanist before. He was a life drawing model in one of our classes, and I was like, oh, sick. That's kind of neat. He's very chill. Yeah, be a good person, not a rocket science dipshit. Pretty much. I'm a Christian and I hate saying that though. I go to a place that's LGBTQ and supportive church who has two pastors. One's a woman who's very funny and a man who's South Korean dude and he's nice too. Absolutely. I'm not saying that there cannot be very good churches and people who are genuinely doing good and being actually loving and accepting. Not at all. I'm saying I'm always a little suspicious now of people who say they're Christian. And very unfortunately, because people who believe they're true Christians often don't even understand what Jesus was preaching in the first place, which is literally just be nice and respect each other. Then get rid of landlords, which would honestly I have no Jesus, unproblematic faith. um, but like the people who are wary to call themselves Christians are usually the ones where it's like, I know how much harm people have done in the name of our God and how bad it is, you know? Satanists literally worship the devil. Like, if they don't believe in the devil, but they're Satanists, they're wrong. So, as far as I understand, is there's two different kinds of Satanists. Ones who worship the devil, but there's another sect which is far more common as far as I understand, where it's like they literally just don't believe in any of it. They're kind of atheists, but under a different name. So it's very interesting. I am not part of either one, but that's just what I have learned. It's official. Honey's secretly a goth bagger. Jesus is more base than a lot of people pretend he is. Here's the thing. Jesus would probably just be killed for doing nice things if he came back nowadays. Because he would be like, yeah, church should not be getting this much money. People should be helping the sick and the poor and the prostitutes. Like, that's his whole thing. And a lot of people don't like that. It's like, it's literally what Jesus did. He hung out with people who needed help. And to the rich people, he was like, give up your wealth. You guys are corrupted by the wealth. Get rid of it. And they went, no, I don't want to do that. And he was like, okay, I can't help you then. People are worried to call themselves Christian because every other belief likes to put them down and attack them. I don't know about that necessarily. I think it's because people are wary of Christians. Like when someone says they're a Christian, I'm immediately put on edge where I'm like, okay, are you going to be discriminatory and homophobic? Which is a shame because actual Christians should not be. And it's very frustrating. It happens a lot, honey. How do you just prove a point? What point? It's a fun story. In a city I lived, we had full fire and brimstone. You're all going to hell, dude. He would yell at everyone and even point out more obvious LGBT couples, and it sucked. He had minions too. Oh, jeez. So I decided to have a chat with him, and it was eliminating. Essentially, didn't believe it was worth doing good if you weren't going to heaven at the end, and doing good to make Earth better was pointless. That's very frustrating, because, like, it is good to do good. Like, aren't we supposed to want the world to be better for everybody? You know? We want everyone to live long, happy, fulfilled lives and not have to suffer. That's not how you draw this flower. One sec. You put down Christians, stated you were instantly wary of them. That's a very toned down reaction, but that's the usual reaction. I don't think I'm putting down Christians. I think I'm putting down... I guess putting down is the wrong word for it, but like I am wary of extremists. I am not generalizing Christians in that way. Because yeah, there are genuinely good people who are Christian. It's a shame that in my experience, though, I have mostly heard of the extremists. It's very tough because when you're in the LGBTQ community, There's so much religious trauma in there where I'm like, that's really unfortunate that people couldn't just be cool. We love the canon Jesus that beats ass with sticks. Did he do that? Extremists are toxic fandom. Extremists for basically anything is bad. Yeah, extremists are generally bad, I think. That's kind of the definition of an extremist, is just like it takes something to the extreme, which is usually too much. Absolutely. The belief as it is written is a lot better than how most of the book will the practice is. Yeah, there's a lot of like I will say something that is really important is if you are practicing something, make sure you are aware of what the actual books say. Because here's the thing, you can read something and go like, I don't like these parts of my religion, so I'm not going to carry them forward. That is fine. Such as like some things that are outdated, like that discriminate against different people. The other thing to consider is the Bible has been translated and rewritten, I think like over 10 times based on what king was in power. And so it's like the original texts are very hard to come by. And it's also hard to separate which ones are which is another frustrating point. Issues because they're standout, people think of them first, like how you just mentioned being worried about Christians. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that is true. It's a shame people have to be wary when people say that, you know? It's not about what king was in power. That part wasn't the translation process. Was it? Really? I thought one of the French kings had it translated so that he could have multiple, like, could divorce and remarry. Wasn't that like Henry the Eighth? I also remember reading the whole sections of the Bible were originally written by people who were the most professionally literate. That was Henry the Eighth, English king. Oh, it was an English king. My bad. Not French. He founded a new church. Ah, gotcha. How'd you play? Let's go to thank you. Church of England was formed exclusively for that purpose. Yeah. Honestly, good for him for forming divorce. Is he the one that killed his wives? I can't remember. There was definitely kings that killed his wives because they were not giving him sons, which is very funny because apparently gender is more kind of determined by the sperm, which is just like the problem was within all along. He killed quite a few. Gotcha. He was not a nice guy. No, I don't imagine people who kill their wives are very nice people. Personally, I don't think that's an indicator of a good moral compass. King James, hence the King James Version. Ah, okay. There's some debate that a lot of the anti-gay stuff in the Bible was originally against pedestry, old and young male relationships. Oh. Interesting. Oh, wait. Why am I drawing like a Beyblade? Misery love me. I guess no one told the king that his stuff was the problem, not the wives. Man, the king probably had the same problem that most rich people have, where people just confirm their biases. Just surrounded by yes men. That is why everyone who's rich and has a certain threshold needs a government-appointed court jester to go, that's stupid. Because the court jester is silly and can't be persecuted for making fun of the king. It's necessary. You need it. We need jesters again. Butterflies with punctured wings. He actually had several children, mostly illegitimate. Really? And he still killed his wife? Man. Man. Come and find me, oh glory. Come and find me. To the sound of an enemy song, I'll be lost until you find me fighting. One of his children would go to be worse than him too? No! Honey, you fool. We bring back justice people 100% harder into the horny for them that already exist. Good. Good. Divorce is in the Bible, even allowed though restricted? Really? Dang. Which version? Huh. Then why are people so upset by divorce? What's wrong with that? It's all of them? Why are people so upset by divorce? Henry VIII's only legitimate male child did not live long, so Elizabeth I became queen. Good for her. Wait, no, wait. She was worse than him, right? Oh gosh. There's so much history that I am not up to date on. Just told me that I need a cute gobble. Hi. Hi, Cassidy. Welcome in. There's an old rhyme that school children are taught about Henry's wife. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. Jeez. That's rough. Esgar, thank you for the resub. Happy 51 months. Welcome on back. Everyone needs criticism because discrimination being biased makes you an asshole. It's not rocket science. Absolutely. Here's the thing. Like, not y'all, but like, Pestle made some good points that I had not considered. And so it's like, yeah, I need people to go like, actually, from this point of view, this might be something to consider. And it's like, you know what? Let me readjust. That's right. Because the more we learn, the more we adjust our perspectives. And sometimes we are still correct, but we need to have more nuance in there, you know? It's important. Because I am not an expert in everything. And I don't think I ever will be. There will always be people that know more than me. But there are some things, like core beliefs of mine, that probably will not change. Like believing that everyone deserves to live in a safe and environment with all of their needs met. It's hard to hear Honey say a-hole. Did I say a-hole? Adultery was one of the only acceptable reasons for divorce. Really? That makes sense, actually, because historically we didn't have divorce until... when was divorce invented? When was divorce legal? I guess if 1960? Well, I guess it's no fault divorce. Because yeah, no fault divorce is important. Because otherwise, someone had to be claimed to be an abuser to get out of a marriage, and it's like, geez, that's rough. Mary was called the Bloody Mary. Oh right. You think of Mary first. She was tried bringing back Catholicism, married the King of Spain, and died at 42 from what is believed to be ovarian cancer. Oh no. Well, I guess I don't know, but like that still sucks. Oh, hi, frogs. Welcome back. Yellow Stories also became a feminist musical, and it's so fun. Really? Huh. Hmm? It was Elizabeth, not the one that died last year. Oh, okay. Oh, let's go. Marriage is very important in the Bible for a lot of reasons. It was representative of the relationship between the church, the greater church, not any individual body, and God. So being married, you could not divorce because it allows otherwise to say, God could abandon us, which is he's explicitly said, I will not do so. Dang. I can see why that's so scary, but like, I feel like that's a lot of pressure to put on people. Or that Godzilla is a representation of nuclear attacks to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and their consequences. Mm-hmm. We're back from the Fortnite event. Let's go! Hope it was fun. Okay. I have to clean up the flowers now. I don't wanna! I don't wanna! It's so much work! Maybe I'll just start grayscaling the flowers. I'll just skip the lining step for now because, once again, we're doing a lineless style. We're doing this to avoid line art. Hence why adultery is one of the only acceptable reasons for divorce. Huh. Okay. The more you know, you know? Chikio, thank you for the save. Okay. What if I do this? What if I do this? Will my brain prefer this? Yes, it will. Okay, good. Honey going, I'll just avoid the lines. That's why I'm doing this line art style, because I don't feel like doing line art. I'm doing a lineless style. Honey, you do realize that being married is something you promise to be in front of God? I guess I always just assumed because other cultures can do it in their own different way that, like, it didn't have to involve God. I thought it was just kind of a celebration of people getting together. Because, like, a lot of different cultures have marriage, right? I'm pretty sure. You don't need an ordained priest to be married. Like, it being a heavy matter was the point. That always feels so strange to me, because, like, there's so much pressure to get married. That it's just, like, it feels like a lot of the times you're pushed into the choice. There we go. A vow, the word itself is a promise to God. Is that what vow means? Very much depends on your culture, indeed. The idea of making a promise like that just spans humanity in one way or another. Many times transactionally, historically, if we're being honest about it. Surprised at my question about what draws inspiration went all the way talking about religion and marriage. It's a fascinating topic, for sure. Truth about marriage is it's been a financial contract. Why do you think the government makes it a business? I don't know if it's always a financial contract. I think sometimes it's like merging of the families, which I guess can be financial, but could also just be, I don't know. I can imagine that people married for love plenty in the past. Speaking from Christian faith. That makes sense. From a Christian perspective, I can see that. I don't know enough about other cultures to really say. Bringing up other faiths and cultures is exactly a good argument when I was talking about the other one. Yep, absolutely fair. If it's just from a Christian perspective, then I can definitely see that. Also, hi, Johnny. Welcome in. So I'm prepared for my sister's birthday party yesterday. Good afternoon. Afternoon. I hope you have fun. I hope your sister's birthday party goes well. When I married my ex, it's cool, don't worry. I think of the legal side involved God at all. And our actual celebration was very personal and silly. That seems nice. Artie, thank you for the breathe. And the hydrate. Your character looks funny eating. Eating is kind of a strange thing. When you eat, think about it. Eating is such a strangely designed thing where one of the holes that we breathe, speak through, and, like, I guess kiss with, is also the thing we use to eat. Like, it's a multi-purpose hole, I guess. But Why breathe tube where swallow tube is? And it's not just us, it's a lot of animals. Except fish. Why? Hi Celestials, welcome in. What art software do you use? I got a drawing pad and need help with the software. Oh. So Azalea, I use Clip Studio Paint. Krita is free. Depending on what tablet you got, you can get Procreate, which is for iPads. But yeah, I use Clip Studio Paint. That's the one I use, but I use it on PC, so don't know what kind of tablet you got. Food is such inefficient fuel. It is, but it's so delicious. It's so nice. Honey, you have such a funny way with words. Funny words. B, thank you for the posture check. You can also breathe through our noses while eating. I don't know. Whenever I try to breathe through my nose while eating, I kind of choke on stuff. I can only really do so many things at once. People aren't eating with their ears. They're not shoving it in their ear holes. Vampire money. I love vampire money. Leslie, thanks for the ear wiggles. Then that's just a face cloaca? I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. At least we got like lobsters, but it's not face. They what now? I'm learning so much today. Being alive is weird. Being alive is weird. We just gotta chill out a little bit. There we go. Give me some of that vampire money, come on. If the food shouldn't go in our pie hole, which hole should it go in instead? Sorry, chest moving fast. If I can't read your stuff, I apologize. I'm trying to keep up. And also, V, thanks for the posture check. Be French, thanks for the 100 shinies. Let's review the Mola Mola, aka the ocean sunfish. One of the biggest fish on the planet and subsists solely on jellyfish. It has tough, leathery skin. The nutritional value of a rice cake is living proof that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Oh yeah, get your meds, Meta. How do ghosts eat? I don't think ghosts need to eat. They don't really have a physical body, right? So they don't really gotta worry about eating? Who should go in our... Oh, masticating is weird on a statistical level. Hooved animals do it, but what else? Most of them chew cud as well as to substitute pre-digestion aspect of saliva with actual stomach acid. Huh. Interesting. Comes from votum, the Latin word which means promise to be a deity. Oh. Sunfish too stupid to die. That's okay. Alright, we're gonna turn this down. Actually, wait. What if I move this flower around? Jetpack so cool, singing like the king that I made him. When you wanna be a movie star, take a barrel far. Pick a fire. So this song, the reason why the singer Gerard Way says drive a Volvo car is because they were originally asked by the makers of Twilight to do a song for the vampire movie because vampire was so deeply entrenched in their aesthetic. But they said, no, we don't want your vampire money, and wrote this song about driving a Volvo car, which is, if you don't know, the car that Edward drives the most. That's why I love this song. Anyways. Kids don't care if you're alright, honey. Pills don't help, but don't. It's funny. Love the art of honey with different flowers. Thank you. I'm learning. But let the good times roll in case God doesn't show. words to make things right, but it's the wrongs that makes the words come to light. Who does he think he is? Better put your fingers back to the keys. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. He takes like you, only sweeter. One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. He tastes like you, only sweeter. Oh. Adding accessories to the pieces. I'm adding the grayscale. Where my eyesight is going bad, and these crystal balls. It's always cloudy except for when you look into the past. One night stand. One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for the... He tastes like you, only sweeter. One night, yeah, one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. He tastes like you, only sweeter. Middle gets even prettier. I love this one. It looks good. In hotel room, collecting big sheets for love. Get me out of my mind and get you out of those clothes. I'm lying awake, getting you into the mood. I have to clean this up. One night, yeah, one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. See, he tastes like you, only sweeter. One more night, one more time. Juicica core, honey? What's Juicica? One night and one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. He tastes like you, only sweeter. Ah. We're not ever after. How do you feel about the One Punch Man season 3? I haven't watched it yet. I just watched the recaps so that I could catch up, but I haven't watched the actual episodes yet. Jeff, I think it sticks to the manga this time around. Fair. I think an old comic character, if I recall. Hungarian comic character, be to me a little more specific. Gray pops so well around the other colors. Gray is pretty fun. I like it. Grayscale is just nice. Just because a cute AF newspaper cartoon type comic. Ah. Is it the Betty Boop looking one? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Then I'll be another memory, and I be the only hope for you, and you're the only hope for me. And if we could find where they belong, we'll have to make it on our own. Face past the pain and take it on, because the only hope for me is you alone. You say it's okay, another can tell. And though you can see me smile, I still think of the bonds they've built. Whoops, wrong lyric. Could be, then I'll be another memory. Can I be the only hope for me? 'Cause you're the only hope for me. And if we can find where we belong, we'll have to make it on our own. Face all the pain and take it on. Because the only hope for me is you alone. Hungarian Betty Boop feels accurate. Okay, I think I've seen that one then. I was just in your house, some noise in the background. Your art's actually pretty good. Thank you. I was digging in our garden when I found a chest full of gold coins. I was about to run inside and tell my wife, but then I remembered why I was digging the hole. Dark joke. As a person I could be, then I'd be another memory. I'd be the only hope for you, because you're the only hope for me. And if we can find where we belong, we'll have to make it on our own. Face all the pain and take it on, because the only hope for me is you alone. I miss my wife. I'm sure she's got words for you. To kill his wife. That's bad. That's a crime. Murder's illegal. I miss my wife, Tails. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. I haven't heard this song yet. It's Frank Iro's song. I've been in my first year of design school and I haven't drawn anything character related in so long. Makes me want to start again. Go for it. I think it's fun and important to draw art that is outside of schoolwork. It kind of keeps you sane and keeps you going, you know? Art that you are really passionate about will feel better after you're doing art studies. Studies are important, but it's really important to also draw things that make you happy. Because otherwise, what's it for, you know? It's like, yeah, saving up and making sure you have enough for retirement and like a home is really important. In this economy, it's necessary. But you also got to remember to do things that are fun. You can't just save forever, you know? You can't wait for an eventual future to come. You have to live in it right now. Do you draw what makes you happy first? Yeah, generally I try to draw what makes me happy. Like what I'll do is I will draw something that even if the composition is not correct or anatomically right, if it makes me happy, it's a good starting point. Start with something that makes you happy and then polish it if you'd like. Or just leave it as is. Honey, do you not use any emote plugins? I have to put them back in. It's been a bit. So often things break. Like I put in VTS Pog a month ago and it already broke. So many things break constantly and I'm tired of having to replace them. I have to reinstall, mix it up, and I'm just like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. But how you doing, Joel? Yeah, so usually what I do is I save it for events. So I'll be like, okay, if I have a big Christmas stream or I'm trying something new, I will try to make sure everything is up to date. So I'll do them in big bursts. Why can't things just work? Why can't they just work? The other thing is there are so many plugins. There are so many extra plugins from different sources that you have to juggle them and make sure that everything is set up right and turn everything on before stream. It used to take only 5 minutes to turn things on, but to turn on all of the extensions and the programs takes 15 to 20 minutes. And I'm just like, I'm not doing this every single time. I'm not doing this. But I do want to find something like if I wonder if there's an extension I can add on that opens my extension. An extension for the extensions. Perhaps that would be good. It's quite a bit of pre-stream setup. Yeah. Top it off with I have to do vocal warm-ups to make sure I don't hurt my voice for streaming for a long time. And it becomes quite a bit of work. I do not envy streamers with much more complicated setups than I do, because my setup is relatively simple. It's called macro. Is that what it is? Steam Deck? Steam Deck? I have a Stream Deck. That does work, but it does take them a little bit. Last time, still 3 hours put from home. You're so close. You could do art at home. You could chill. But I hope you do well, Joel. It's great to see you. I hope you're feeling all right and that Twitch's number game hasn't been getting to you, because it absolutely gets to everyone. You are not alone. Hi, Matthew Murphy. I think one of the frustrating things about streaming on Twitch is that you can feel when Twitch is hungry for money, if that makes sense. You can feel when the company is under pressure by the executives to make more money. And it's like, oh, this doesn't feel good. Because they start implementing stuff that doesn't really make sense and is not good for the viewers. Line go up. Downside of having an Icelandic keyboard on my phone. The keys are even smaller. No! Don't remind me. I stress eat easily, so I try not to ponder too much my own waistline. Fair. I have... You know what I tried to do recently? So I signed up for a monthly exercise pass at my local rec center, and it works. It's really nice because I don't like going into the gym because I feel like I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm not good at setting routines for myself. So doing yoga and muscle classes with old ladies is so nice. They're so fit. But also they're very kind to you. No one's going to stare at you or look at you. They're all there for exercise, and it is so nice. Occasionally an auntie will come up to you and go like, oh, you're so good at this stretch. I didn't know you were so flexible. And I'm like, thank you. That's very kind of you. You can really tell the UI changes, but it's only because someone had to look busy. Welcome back, frogs. But yeah, it's so nice to do. I'm kind of sad because yesterday my yoga class got canceled because the instructor was sick, which is like fair. You know what? You're sick. I can't be upset at you. Thank you for not doing it when you're sick. But doing yoga is so nice with old aunties and grandmas because they're chill. There's no like competitive aspect, because I've done yoga classes in an actual yoga studio and it's a different vibe. It's a completely different vibe. Granted, with a rec center, sometimes you get some people who are, or some instructors that go too fast or too slow. But I found when I went to a yoga studio with my friends, there was like more pressure, strangely enough, and it was more crowded. I like doing it with the old aunties. Feels good. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One's really heavy and the other's a little light. That's pretty good. I have a friend help me with finding new yoga so I can get my flexibility back while getting some low impact workout done. Nice. I think that's really good. Yoga is... So I'm someone who grew up with high intensity exercise, like soccer, field hockey, track and field, stuff like that. And I used to really not like yoga because it was so much sitting still. It was not something that I enjoyed because I wasn't used to doing exercise like that. But now, as an adult, and with a job that is relatively pretty much sedentary, I find that doing gentle exercises is really good. Did you do goat or puppy yoga? Probably puppy yoga if I had to, but I'd be constantly worried about crushing a little puppy under my legs, so I'd rather not have little things running around while I'm doing it. Remember, remember when subbing to a streamer on Twitch disabled ads site wide? Oh, that would have been nice. I think if I were to hang out with puppies, it probably wouldn't be while I'm doing a exercise that requires balance because I'd be so worried about crushing them. I don't want to hurt the puppies or the goats. Hi, Vulcan. Honey, guess what? I get to go to Skillet concert today. Be safe, have fun. Congratulations. Can't do higher impact workout. My health legit doesn't allow for it. So low impact is all that I can really do. Yeah. And it's good that there is exercise that you can do. I'm glad that there is exercise available to people who can't do high impact and can only do low impact. It's important. We need variety. Got a dip to preserve battery. See you later, Plug Bear. I'll catch you later. Goat yoga is something else. Never done it, but Mark and Ethan did it in a long time. I don't know if I'd like to do activities with animals like that. I am perhaps in the realm of like, I think if there are puppies or animals, they deserve to have your full attention, not half your attention, because you never know what they're going to be up to. The coffin door was left like bleeding on the floor, the floor, the floor. You never make me leave. I wear this on my sleeve. Give me a reason to believe. So give me all your poison. How do you draw side profiles? Great question. And I will tell you. So this is a profile. The way I draw this, oh, I did a good job with the flowers. The way I draw it is fairly simple. All I do is I draw the skull. Scooch over a little bit. And then I draw a line down where the jaw would go. So just straight where the jaw. This is where the ear would usually be. You have the eye right about in line with the ear. You can vary this up a little bit. But the eye's up here. And then where the eye and the ear line is, I usually do a line out and then connect it here. You can vary this up with different shapes. You can have it be a little bit more Disney and have it come out like this, a little lower. This usually gives it a more childlike, softer appearance. You can also soften the jaw here. And what I do is, around here is where I make the lips, and around the bottom of the ear is where I make the bottom of the nose. So I just do a little protrusion here, little bottom lip. And there you go. You can also move it in. So instead of making it protrude out, you can move the lip in a little bit. And that is generally how I do side profiles. You can erase these lines here. The base of the neck would be here. The jaw and the neck connects here. A little bit of the neckline. The eye goes like this. You have the eyebrow. Sorry, let me erase this real quick. This on my sleeve. You have the eyelid here, the eyebrow, and you can vary up the shape of the nose as much as you like. Usually with mask characters, what I do is I do connect directly from the middle here. And then what I'll do sometimes is I'll grab this with a transform tool, free transform it, and move it in a little bit, because sometimes I find I put the nose out too far. You're running after something that you'll never kill. If this is what you want, then fire I will. And then I add the nose line, the mouth line, and any adjustments I want. Love the way you explain things. I think you totally could be a teacher if you wanted to. Thank you. I considered being a teacher at one point, but I learned of the conditions, and I was like, I don't know. And also, I don't want to traumatize a kid by accident, you know? But yeah, that's how I draw side profiles. Hopefully that helps. It's not a profile, that's a goblin. Thief broke into my house last night and started looking for money. I woke up and looked with it. Oh, if you find any, let me know. Used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean. Look, man, I'll be safe. I'm with the big shark boy people won't mess with. Good. See you later, Leon. But yeah, hopefully that helps, frogs. If you have any other questions, I can absolutely explain it again or in a different way that might help. It's a valid concern. Plus, being a teacher is tough right now, I'm sure, with all the AI dependency. Yep. When you're a teacher, you are not taught to actually teach kids. You are taught to make them meet standardized tests. And it's like, that's not how kids should be learning. They should actually be learning in a way that makes them understand the world better, not just meet what a test says. All right, let's continue with these. So teach them regurgitate info. Yeah, it's not good. Kids deserve to have the space to learn things that they will need later in life, such as reading comprehension, media literacy, stuff like that. Turn off the flowers real quick so I can see what I'm doing a little better. There we go. Looks furious. I'm not funny. Nah, you good. Puns are kind of fun sometimes. Testing stuff is so stressful for sure. Having them learn is different than meeting quota. Yep. And when you are taught to make them meet a quota, you are not a teacher. You're kind of their boss, and that's not how it should be. If we teach children to think critically and independently, who knows what they'll start demanding? Can't have that. I want my nephew to grow up in an environment where he can learn how it feels and what proper, respectful treatment should be so that he knows how to identify it and protect him and his friends and his loved ones and everyone potentially from potentially being mistreated. Baby Nephi deserves only the best. Nephi deserves to live in a environment and world that is healthy for him and allows him to learn about himself in a safe environment and where he gets to discover what makes him happy, not just what he's told is supposed to make him happy. That's why I hated school. It was always, this is what you need to know to do this. This is what you need to know for the test, and not this is what you need to do this. I learned so much better when I learned more about how and why things work. Yep. The question of how and why should always be encouraged. Never discouraged. When someone asks why, when I give them what I consider art advice, it makes me think and goes like, all right, let me think about why and give a clear answer. Because sometimes there are things that I don't know, such as the rules of composition. I don't understand why they work necessarily, but I can feel that they do, and I can describe why they're nice. And that's how I can start to break it down, you know? Frog's looking good. Thank you. Do I like being a music teacher? Music is an important thing for kids to try to learn. It may not stick with it, but it's an important door to open for them, you know? So they have the possibility, even if they don't step through it. Give it all behind. You can leave this car if your folks don't Live forever if you got the time. I think I'm gonna duplicate this. There was a fly on my dash. There we go. I'm next. Hello, Johnny. Welcome in. Teachers are human too. Not someone who's just here to give you tests about crap you're never going to use in the real world. Chat, you have to choose between Christmas and Halloween. I choose Halloween, but I hate the neighbor sets up a bloody Halloween with friends and a stoic black and white family vibe for Christmas. They're all good. Halloween is a very good holiday, but so is Christmas. Why pit them against each other? They both serve different purposes, you know? Speak Spanish? A little, but not very well, honestly. Like, baby's first Spanish textbook. So not a whole lot. I'm more of an English and French speaker. They're opposites in a way. They're kind of opposites, but I think they both serve a similar purpose, but with a different method, if that makes sense. And you choose because they're both one-tier holidays? I love Halloween. Christmas does bring the family together, and it is important on the darkest parts of the season. Speak French. What am I saying? You sang a French song. Yeah. My apologies, Frank came by and I'm in my car. No worries. I'd less of a grudge against Christmas if it let Halloween have its space and not start prepping in late August. Part of how common, not common, that's not the right word, how big people make Halloween or Christmas versus Halloween can lead to a bit of frustration and pushback from my brain, but it's like, no, it is a good holiday. It is a fun holiday for sure. Christmas music. What would you call Halloween music anyways? Halloween music. But Christmas music is really nice. I thought I'd never see the day when you smile at me. We always pull through. Oh, when we try, I'm always wrong, but you're never right. You're never right. Honestly, can you believe we touch the world when it's asleep? I never traded anything for... Whoops, I read the lyrics. You know what? Fair enough. I neglected to think that. Halloween music. We do like it. Wow. You have a nice time. Thank you, Blythe. I hope you're doing well, Blythe, and taking care of yourself. Thank you, sketch artist. I like singing. Paramore's probably one of my favorites. Just yesterday. Just yesterday. Honestly, can you believe we crossed the world when it's asleep? I never traded it. Thought always wanted this, 'cause it's not a dream anymore. Whoa, it's not a dream anymore. It's worth fighting for. Doing my best? Good. I'm glad. Quick question. How would you pronounce the word boatswain? Boatswain? Thanks for the hydrate, Johnny. Read a story about a child that wanted to be an astronaut and questioned his teacher about why they were teaching in the textbook because he had gone outside of the class to study. Turns out the text was from 1986 and vastly outdated by this point, but the teacher refused to correct his curriculum until the principal and parents got involved. The teacher was eventually fired. Huh. Yeah, I guess it's important. Keep stuff updated. Thanks for the posture check and breathe, Johnny. That's how it's pronounced? Oh, Botson. Bosun. Bosun. Boatswain? Bosun? Sounds like a setup from a joke. Almost everyone I met pronounces it boatswain. To be fair, when you sound out the letters, that's kind of what it reminds me of. Sounds like bussin'. Reminds me of when I was feeding my nephew. And one of my friends went, "Ooh, this is hitting." And my nephew went, "It's hitting." And I was like, "Ah, I love my nephew. I love him so much. He's so cute." He's so cute. I love Neffy. I love my nephew. I got a lot to say to you. Yeah, I got a lot to say. I notice your eyes are always glued to me, keeping them here, and it makes no sense at all. Also love the vintage Halloween music. Fun times. Ooh. You're not real, says Husky Puppy. It's not real. He does say that to the Husky Puppy, and we're like, no, bud, that dog's real. That dog is real. He's not dangerous, really, but he's real. Nothing compares to a quiet evening alone. Of us is coming on, that never happened. I must be dreaming again. This. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, come on, let's play. 'Cause I'd rather waste my life pretending than have to forgive you for one whole minute. What was the previous song? It was Also Paramore? Yes, that was... That one was Looking Up by Paramore. Gonna take a power nap while listening to stream? Yeah, no, sounds good. I'll probably finish doing the grayscale and line art for the flowers, then call it a stream. Nothing compares to a quiet evening alone. Of us is coming on, that never happens. I guess I'm dreaming again. Alright, time to do the line art. There is still line art and lineless art. Shit, I don't really need for that one. Just the one, two of us is coming on, that never happened. I guess I'm dreaming again. There we go. A quiet evening alone. Of us is coming on. I guess I'm dreaming again. More than this. Ooh. Maybe not Pierce Veil. Quick post of appreciation for a chill stream and chat, by the way. Feeling super rough today and it's been a nice environment. Well, thank you, Mad Doodles. Glad you've been having a good time here. And thank you. Thank you for coming. On and on and on and on. Artifice, thank you for the resub with Prime. Happy 6 months, welcome back. This time when you're gone, surrender your heart and surrender everything. Mm-hmm. Every secret that I gave. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Drive on and on and on and on. So dream on and on and on. Remember this night when you're gone. Surrender your heart. You surrender everything. Mm-hmm. Every secret that I gave. You can fight this all you want, but tonight belongs to me. You can fight this all you want, but tonight belongs to me. Monster Mash is the type of vibe I want to have my Halloween to have. Monster Mash is a fun one. I do like spooky music for sure. Lullaby for Murgo. Oh, that's your scary song? Thank you for the save, Zindel. That thing legitimately terrifies me? Oh, really? I don't think I've heard Lullaby for Murgo. Maybe, or I can't recall it. A little stretch. Honey glasses. Hi, Kansa. Honey, do you like beat 'em ups like Castle Crashers or Street of Rage? Not in particular. It's not really my sense of games, but that's okay. Misery business. It's like plip, plip, plop, plip, plip, flop in the background that really gets me. Really? Hmm. Powerball. I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top. She's got a body like an hourglass, it's ticking like a clock. Before we all run out, and we thought it was mine, she caught him by the mouth. Waited 8 long months, she finally set him free. I thought I couldn't lie, he was the only one for me. 2 weeks we caught on fire. Yeah, maybe like that. Whoa, I never meant to brag, but I got it what I wanted now. Whoa, it was never my intention to brag, to steal it all away from you now. But guys, it feels so good, 'cause I got it what I wanted now. And if you could, then you know you would. 'Cause God, it just feels so good. Honey's more of a souls-esque hack and slasher. Yeah, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with knowing what games I like. Nothing wrong with trying to expand and going, oh, still not for me, but I'm glad I tried. That happens with a lot of games, I find, is I'll try something different and be like, okay, I see the appeal. Not something that I personally would choose, but that's okay. I also like Minecraft. Oh, I'm playing Minecraft with some homies right now, and it's quite fun. To brag, but I got it what I wanted now. Wow, it was never my intention to brag, to steal it all away from you now. 'Cause God, does it feel so good? 'Cause I got it what I wanted now. And if you could, then you know you would. 'Cause God, it just feels so It just feels so good. I yearn for the mines. Haven't run into many songs that inspire fear. Most of the times it's, this noise is tickling my brain in a good way. I think the bolero effect between verse 2 and 3 in Pigs, 3 different ones, or any given long Primus song. Fair enough. I'm just really excited for Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. Ooh, a beat 'em up of my favorite devs, so I'm excited. Ooh, okay. I hope it turns out good. I've yet to go into the mines. I think Minecraft is a very fun game. I keep forgetting how to play. Like, oh, how do I set up a base? Like, how do I do this? And then I eventually get the rhythm and go, okay, okay, I remember this. I get this now. God, it feels so good. 'Cause I got it what I wanted right now. And if you could, then you know you would. 'Cause God, it just feels so. It just feels so good. This flower is very complicated. There's almost too much line work, but I'm gonna do something about it. So don't worry about it. I hated being employed. I gotta get ready for work. Thank you for the stream, honey. Hope you have a nice weekend. No worries, Blood Asp. You take it easy, and I hope work is kind to you today. They're selling postcards of the hanging. Well, they're painting the passports brown. And the beauty parlor's filled with sailors. The circus is in town. Wonder, here comes the blind commissioner. While they got him in a trance. One hand is tied to the tightrope walker. The other's in his pants. And the riot squads are restless. They need somewhere to go. As the lady and I walk out tonight from Desolation Row. Well, it takes one to know one, she says, and she puts her hands in her back pockets, Betty Davis style. Well, here comes a Romeo moaning, you belong to me, I believe. Well, someone says you're in the wrong place, my friend, you better leave. And the other sound that's left after the ambulances go is Cinderella sweeping up on Desolation Row. Join high stream, get us still, ads be smelly sometimes. Oh, so sorry about that, bud. Calvin Klein briefs ad and face. They're telling you to get more underwear. They're watching you. They say, get new undies. But yeah, so sorry. If I could turn off ads permanently, I would. At midnight, all the agents and superhuman crew go out and round up everyone who knows more than they do. Then bring them to the factory where the harlots and machines are strapped across the colors and drink the kerosene. Just glad I don't get the ad with people about to throw up anymore. They got one of those? Dude, I don't think they should be showing that. Desolation Row. No matter one can read too good, they'll send me all this snow. But unless you gotta mail them from Desolation Row. I think that'll do. Let's see. What's a good one? Oh, here's a good one. So Delanoche, thank you for the earwiggles. Have a little separation here. And if your heart stops beating, I'll be here wondering, did you get what you deserve. The ending of your life, and if you get to heaven, I'll be here waiting, babe. Did you get what you deserve? The end, and if your life won't wait, then your heart can't take this half. You heard the news that you're dead. No one ever had much nice to say. I think I never liked you anyway. You'll take me from the hospital bed. Wouldn't it be great if exactly what you planned? Oh, wouldn't it be great if we were dead? Oh, dead. Tongue-tied and oh so squeamish. You never fell in love. Did you get what you deserve? The end, and if your life, and if you get to heaven, I'll be here waiting, babe. Did you get what you deserve? The end, and if your life won't wait, then your heart can't take this half. You heard the news that you're dead. No one ever had much nice to say. I think they never liked you anyways. I'll take me from the hospital bed. Wouldn't it be great if they took a pistol by the hand? Oh, wouldn't it be great if we were dead? And in my honest observation during this operation, found a complication in your heart so long. 'Cause now you've got maybe just 2 weeks to live. Awesome. Welcome on in, Raiders. Hi, Raccoon. Welcome in. How was your stream? Oh, you're playing Minecraft. Nice. I was just talking about Minecraft. I want to play Minecraft. I miss the mines. The mines. They're so fun. But welcome in. Today, I'm just drawing myself in a lineless style. I'm experimenting a little bit, seeing what I like and what I need to adjust for this. But welcome on in, Raiders. The children yearn for the mines. She yearns for the mine. Local goblin yearns for the mines. I do. I do. Thinking about them. Laughing, just a joke. Then why are we laughing? Then why are we laughing? Then why am I dead? There we go. Sorry, I'm just making the other part gray. Oh, what's this? Never heard this song. You're for that tasty cave air. The caves in Minecraft are gorgeous. I think they're pretty cool. I want to make this a different color just so I can see. Just coloring the leaves right now. There we go. 100, thank you for the 100 shinies. Hytale's early access in January 13th. Is that Hyrule Warriors? Oh, excuse me. Favorite cave in Minecraft is the Lush Cave. Not because they're axolotls, but they factor. Yeah, the Lush Caves are beautiful. The Lush Caves, the Crystal Caves. There's a lot of exploring to do downwards. Thank you. This one. You don't know the Hytale game? No, I don't know Hytale game. It's for elegant Steve. Thank you. How's lineless going? I can't for the life of me figure out how to do it. It's not that it's fully without lines. It's just making the colors clean enough that it doesn't need lines. That's at least that's how I see it. Everyone probably has a different take on lineless, but that's kind of how I've been doing it so far. And so far it's working all right. MMO Minecraft? Is that what it is? Development for years? Oh. Not MMO? Okay. Hmm. Hytale's a Minecraft like that seemed doomed to die in development hell after being acquired by Riot, but the creator got the rights back and it's actually becoming a thing. Oh, good. Good for the creator. Personally, not 100% sure what will make it stand apart from Minecraft aside from the art style, but I'm glad for everyone involved. Hope it's good. Hope so. Vintage Story feels like a Minecraft creepypasta. I've played Vintage Story. It's very it's similar to Minecraft, but it's different from Minecraft. There's a lot more to do making stuff, but some people may not like it because of it. And I will say the thing that is difficult with it is building. You are constantly getting hungry in Vintage. Because like your hunger meter is going to constantly go down, which is good because that's a bit more realistic if you want more of a realism aspect, but it can also be really tough because you're constantly trying to survive. So building stuff is not usually a priority unless you're trying to survive winter. I like the seasons in Vintage. It's good. Vintage is a different experience. I love it. Yes. Vintage Story is good as long as you enjoy being killed by time demon that shows up from a spatial fracture. Yes. Yes. I love that in the I love farming in games. Like specifically grains and fruit and vegetable growing. And I love that there's seasons in Vintage Story because it affects the growth because of the temperature. And I think that's really fun. Vintage is annoying in my opinion. I want to get an itch to make a mushroom village than be able to do it. That is absolutely fair. That is when Minecraft is better for you then. Because, yeah, Vintage is more of a you want to see how it's done kind of thing. The guide is also very tricky to learn. I'm a visual learner, so I had to look up tutorials, but it is a very fun experience with your friends. I like it quite a bit, especially because we played modded. We didn't play vanilla Vintage Story. We did mod it. We added more recipes and maps. Each crop requiring different nutrients, so you have to pull out the old crop cycling. Yes, I actually like that. I'm a fan of that personally. All right. All that's left is for me to draw a little bit of the flowers on this, and then should be good to add color. Maybe not the Providence right now. Yeah. Vintage Story made me feel the same fear my ancestors felt when one night I heard a pack of wolves howling outside my base. Yeah. It makes you feel fear. It's fun. Really makes you appreciate the winter feast celebration because it means you made it. Yep. When you and the homies gather after preserving all of your foods, you're like, oh, we are living for tonight and getting drunk. And I got being hired as a flower girl at a wedding. I've been a flower girl before. It was quite fun. Come on, thank you for the resub. Happy 55 months. Welcome back. Hope you had Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Thank you. I'm just chilling doing art. It's not perfect lineless, but it's still fun. I'm still doing some experiments and learning. Let's do a little bit of a blush layer. I think that can kind of help. And then move it up a little bit. There we go. Dude, I think the flowers really elevate the right piece. The color's gonna make it pop? Yeah, I think so. I'm very excited. Blush is a little nice little touch. This one could be a little darker. Actually says back in. Let's go, Meta! Good for you. Whoops. All right. Let's finish up this part, and then I think I'll call it a stream because I am getting hungry. There we go. In Library style is so cute. Thank you. I'm working on a bit of a lineless style. We're seeing how it's going right now. Run, run, we run the town. Oh, world playing our sound. Turning up is going down. On tricks, don't miss. Now it's done, done, done. To be fair, the term exists for got it. In painting that's called edging. Let's see. Is perfect lineless a thing? I assume you'll always need to separate overlapping shapes that are not on the same plane, like the line between your face and neck. Yeah, I think that's actually a thing in, like, fine art. Portman, no! I threw my back out on Thursday, but both my 10-year-old and 4-year-old nephew stepped in to help me recover quickly. 10-year-old recommended I take my mom take, or ask what my mom take, who recommended Motrin. And the 4-year-old spent most of Thursday pushing me upwards as I was trying to get up from a resting position, making it easier, less painful. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so, so sweet. Then you were based on it. Thank you. Yeah, I do like K-pop Demon Hunters is quite fun. She sings with so much force. Oh my gosh. Oh, walking our sound. Turn it up, it's going down. Hunt tricks, show this how it's done, done, done. We hunt you down, down, down. We show you how. We show you how. Hunt tricks, show this how it's done, done, done. There's a trailer of Hightail that came out in 2017-ish. Blew up with OP views. Right now it has 61 million. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. Hope it's good. You ever tried selective color art before, where it's all black and white but one focal point that is color? I haven't really tried that before. Usually I just do grayscale, which it might be kind of close, but haven't tried with just black and white. That's a very drastic color style, and I think it's a good thing to study, but I haven't done it before. Should have put my favorite. It's a fun, catchy song. They did design an extremely catchy song. I will give it to them there. I will say my idol is probably their favorite, though. Or my favorite. Hey, Gidget, how's it going? Just can't get enough. They go so high there. Huh. The dancing is also really well choreographed. In context, all the Hendrix songs have some kind of purpose, both narratively and emotionally. But Soda Pop, the one that's made to be nonsense pop, unironically made me happy. That's the point. Also, Redbeard, thank you for the resub. Happy 29 months. Welcome on back. First up from the new temporary home. I hope the temporary home is comfy for as long as it needs to be. I'm just listening to K-pop Demon Hunters now. I don't think you're ready for the takedown. Break you into pieces in a world of pain. Cause they're all the same, yeah, it's a takedown. A demon with no feelings don't deserve to live. It's so obvious. Right here, just for 2 to 3 months until I can afford a first month in security deposit for a place me and my girlfriend can both afford. Gotcha. I hope y'all can save and find a place. Cause yeah, that's a big move. That's a big step. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. Jeff, sometimes you just need to let the hamster in your head ride the wheels. Sometimes it's good. I don't think you're ready for the takedown. I can't sing Korean. I don't know Korean. Feelings don't deserve to live. It's so obvious. Oh, you're the master of illusion. Look at all the masses that you're fooling. Not to turn on you soon somehow. How can you sleep or live with yourself? Do I need more? Yeah, do you need more? Details. Details. Why do I do this to myself? Every time. Every time. Oh, honey, you should draw flowers. Me to myself going, yeah, totally. I should draw flowers. And then me in the future going like, why did I do this? Why have I done this to myself? The self-inflicted curse of detail. Evil Crash, thank you for the resub. Happy 38 months. She sings, she draws, she takes all her shinies. What can't honey do? A backflip. Sorry, that one's one where I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do a backflip. I'm too chicken. I'm too much of a coward. Alright, last one, and then... There we go. Last one, and then I think I can call it done. Okay. There's so many details. The flowers are so detailed. How do artists that draw environments do this? How do they do this? Because I literally just traced over a bunch of it and went, yeah, this is close enough. Given the throne, I didn't know to believe I was the queen that I'm meant to be. Is it too many details? Maybe. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Okay. Oh, I'm done high. Now I'm shining like gold. That's such a high note. Make your own brush too. Sure, I know different line nylon match stuff. Gonna have them use brushes. Yeah, they would. They would be smart and do that, huh? But these patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see. No more hiding. Let's see. So close. I'm almost done. Why did I do this to myself? Artists use brushes. Why did I do this to myself? I keep doing this. I go, oh, environments, plants. I love drawing plants. And then I cry. What is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this to myself? It's fine. It's fine. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close. Okay. Hi, Hellfire. Welcome in. You dip flowers and paint and smack the canvas with them too? That's honestly one of the smartest ways of doing it. Okay. I think this is separated enough with line art. I think I can satisfyingly call this enough. Okay. So if I get rid of the line art, yep, it works. Okay. Do this. Do this. Make it lighter. Yep. Okay. That works. Woo. And I'm back from my little cousin's 6th birthday party. Nice. I'm just about to wrap up stream now. Good for me. Flower Princess So Regal, thank you. It's very cute. Hey, at least you really know how to make good. At least I figured it out. I got there in the end. We got there, gamers. I got there. You got to see me do it. And now I chill. I'm gonna go grab some lunch because I am hungry. Oh, little stretch. Bonnie, thank you for the stream. The art's incredible as always. It's very lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. Who is awake? Just making sure the person I'm thinking of rating is not ending. Yeah. I think this is a good place to visit. Let me just double check, because I think their community might be 18 plus. It's not 18 plus, but generally, yeah. Don't forget to say work. Good idea. Thank you for the save, Drago. Good little save. This stuff is real pretty. It would be a shame if something happened to it. Yeah, it would be. After I worked so hard on it. I would rather nothing happen to it, honestly. Please. No lines? I hardly know. No lines? I hardly knew him. Honestly, that was pretty good. Thank you, Meta. That's a good raid message. I will be streaming Monday at 6. Oh, Monday? Ooh. I have to double check if I'm streaming Monday or Tuesday. Because I don't have soccer, but I might have something else. I'm thinking of taking my nephew to the pool, so I want to take him swimming. I'm trying to go outside and take him swimming. So I will keep y'all posted. For now, I'll say Tuesday at 6 p.m. PDT or 9 p.m. EST. But yeah. If not, Monday. But I'll try to keep y'all posted. So yeah, sorry, sketch artist. It's about done because it is lunchtime for me. I gotta start eating. because it is good for me to have a good eating schedule, and I am behind. It's almost 1. Oh gosh. So, in the meantime, let's go visit another art streamer. Let's go visit, dun, 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 dun. Let's go visit Oshio. Oshio is checking out other people's art, so if you have art to share, Oshio could potentially look at it. I don't know if she has time, but she is drawing right now, and it's very, very fun. Oshio is very, very skilled, and I'm sure she will explain what she's doing because, you know, she's very good at that. But yeah, thank you all for coming today. I am very pleased with how these turned out. They do need some polishing, but you know what? Good progress with the flowers. Flowers always take a while. But yeah, I will see y'all either Monday or Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST or 9 p.m. EST just for some art and chilling and taking it easy. Thank you all for being so kind to me, especially since I woke up late because I had to clean blood out of my sheets. But yeah. Yippee! All good. It happens every month. So we cope. But yeah, y'all take it easy. I will see y'all very soon. Thank you for coming today. I really appreciate it. It's okay. I was like, dude, it's okay. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it just be like that. That's just the way it is. But yeah, thank y'all for coming today. I really appreciate it. The horrors of having a body. Sometimes it is quite horrifying. But it's also great too. It's fun. But yeah. These things happen. Love, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.